We have been at this bathroom project for a while now. I think last time I posted a video about it was over a year ago, and we are this close to being done here a year later. It's taken us about a year and a half, 2 years, I've lost track. Our vision for this bathroom was to have like a European, Moroccan, Spanish, French kind of a feel in here. That was inspired by our tile choice, which is this beautiful tile from Floor & Decor called Mercado. It is, I believe it's porcelain or ceramic, I can't remember which, but it's meant to mimic cement and caustic tiles that I remember seeing all over Spain when I was there. And I think this is the most beautiful one that I've ever seen available. I just love it. So we put that on the floor, and then we tiled with subway tile about 2/3 up the wall. And then we had this vision to do the rest of the wall. These walls are quite tall. Do the rest of the wall and the ceiling all one color, and we wanted it to have a really like plastery, lime wash, interesting, variegated, textured kind of feel. So I immediately thought of milk paint, which I painted my boys' room with milk paint a couple years ago, and I could not have been happier with the result, and it's holding up wonderfully to this day. And so I reached out to the Old Fashioned Milk Paint Company, and I asked them if they'd like to do a collaboration with my bathroom, and they very graciously said yes, and they sent me 2 gallons of their Soldier Blue Farmhouse Finishes Safe Paint for walls, and 1 gallon of their Sweet Pickins Final Finish Top Coat in matte, because they did say since this is a wet area, bathroom and kitchen, they do recommend top coating the milk paint, whereas in my boys' room upstairs, there's no top coat on there at all. It wasn't necessary. I'm really busily painting in here this week whenever I get a chance, and it's done, and I really couldn't be happier with the results. So if you're thinking about milk paint for any kind of project in your house, I just want to share with you some ninja tips for making it come out right and show you how it turned out in my bathroom. My first tip is that milk paint can be just as easy to handle as latex. When I painted my boys' room, I mixed up the paint to a fairly watery consistency. But when I talked to the Old Fashioned Milk Paint Company this time, they said, you know, we do recommend now that when you mix your paint, you mix it so until it's the consistency of a regular paint that you'd be used to, like latex. So that's what I did, and that way it wasn't as splashy as last time I used it. The second tip is to use warm water. So first warm water, and then put in your powdery pigment. Milk paint comes in this dry powder, and you do have to mix it up. You can mix it up with a wire whisk. You can mix it up with a immersion blender, which I have done, an old one that obviously I'm not using for food anymore. Or you could use a mixer that you attach to your electric drill. It's really up to you. My immersion blender actually broke halfway through this project, and I ended up just whisking it manually with a wire whisk the rest of the time, and it was really fine. Slightly more labor intensive without the electricity, but it did work fine. I use this block brush, I also use this up in my boys' room. It's actually a brush for stain. In my boys' room, it did function more as a stain because it was going over raw plaster. In the bathroom here, the walls had already been painted many times with latex, so it didn't function as much as a stain. It wasn't sinking into the wall as much, but I did really love the texture that the block brush gives, and I love seeing those brush strokes. So I used the same brush, and I was very happy with it. But I think you could also use a roller or just any regular paintbrush. 2 coats. Your first coat is going to be like your primer coat, and then the second coat should give you full coverage, which it definitely did in here. So it has really good coverage. After that, I did roll the top coat on with just a regular roller, and it worked fine, and I can still see all the texture coming through. That top coat should dry to matte, and it ever so slightly darkened my paint, but it really pretty much looks the same. I want to stop here and ask you, if you're enjoying this video, could you please give me a like down below? It really helps my channel, and it helps this video spread to more people. Thank you so much. We are very happy with the milk paint as a solution to wanting an old world, interesting finish for our old world bathroom in our old world farmhouse at an affordable price point that's very comparable to the latex paints out there on the market. Thank you so much to the Old Fashioned Milk Paint Company for sponsoring this video, and I hope that you consider using milk paint on walls in your home. It can be a really great solution for a more interesting, textured wall with a lot of personality and old world vintage charm.